As we move toward the year 2026, the dialogue surrounding lunar mining, with a specific emphasis on the extraction of precious resources such as gold, is becoming increasingly intricate and multifaceted. The Moon, once perceived as a distant and lifeless celestial body, is now regarded as a potential treasure chest teeming with valuable materials that could significantly influence not only the realm of space exploration, but also have profound implications for global economies and technological advancements here on Earth. The allure of mining lunar resources, particularly precious metals like gold and rare earth elements, has emerged as a central theme in discussions about ownership, ethics, and the prospects for international cooperation in outer space. The surface of the Moon is believed to harbor a wealth of resources, including not just gold but also platinum, helium-3, and various rare earth elements that are critical for cutting-edge technology. These materials hold immense potential for revolutionizing industries on Earth and supporting future missions beyond our planet. Scientists and engineers have long speculated about the valuable applications of lunar resources, and recent technological advancements have made the prospect of mining operations on the Moon increasingly feasible. This evolving landscape has led to a surge of interest and investment from both governmental space agencies and private enterprises, all eager to lay claim to what could very well be the next major frontier in resource extraction. The United States, China, and Russia are among the nations ramping up their lunar exploration initiatives, each with ambitious plans to establish a sustained presence on the Moon. NASA's Artemis program, for instance, is a key endeavor aimed at returning humans to the lunar surface by 2024, with the overarching goal of creating a sustainable human presence. This mission is not solely about exploration, it is also strategically focused on laying the groundwork for future lunar mining operations. By establishing a foothold on the Moon, NASA envisions a lunar economy that could facilitate further exploration of Mars and beyond, integrating the extraction of lunar resources into a broader strategy for human expansion throughout the solar system. In parallel, China's lunar ambitions are rapidly advancing through its Chang program, which has successfully deployed several robotic missions to the Moon, gathering critical data and samples that enhance our understanding of its geology and potential resources. These missions have provided invaluable insights into the Moon's surface, further fueling interest in the potential for mining operations. Additionally, China has plans for manned missions to the Moon in the coming years, positioning itself as a key contender in the race for lunar resources. Russia, too, is revitalizing its lunar exploration efforts, aiming to reclaim its historical prominence in space exploration. With plans to send cosmonauts to the Moon and establish a base for future exploration and resource extraction, Russia's renewed interest reflects a broader geopolitical shift as countries recognize the strategic importance of lunar resources in today's competitive landscape. As these nations pursue their lunar ambitions, it is essential to acknowledge the rising influence of private companies, which are emerging as formidable players in the lunar mining arena. Companies like SpaceX, founded by Elon Musk, and Blue Origin, established by Jeff Bezos, are developing innovative technologies and missions specifically designed to facilitate lunar landings and resource extraction. SpaceX's ambitious plans encompass not only the transportation of astronauts to the Moon, but also the establishment of the necessary infrastructure to support future mining operations. The company's Starship program aims to create a fully reusable spacecraft capable of carrying significant payloads to the lunar surface, which could revolutionize access to the Moon and beyond. Similarly, Blue Origin envisions a sustained human presence on the Moon, with plans for lunar landers that can deliver essential payloads for mining activities. This involvement of private enterprises injects a new level of competition and innovation into the lunar resource landscape, complicating the issue of ownership and access to these valuable materials. As we approach the reality of lunar mining, the question of ownership and rights to lunar resources becomes increasingly complex and contentious. The legal framework governing the extraction of resources from celestial bodies remains ambiguous. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967, which has been ratified by over 100 nations, asserts that no country can claim sovereignty over celestial bodies, including the moon. This treaty was designed to promote peaceful exploration and prevent territorial disputes in outer space. However, as advancements in technology make lunar mining a tangible possibility, the inherent limitations of this treaty are being increasingly challenged. Companies and nations alike are exploring legal avenues to operate within these confines, while advocating for new frameworks that would allow for the commercial exploitation of lunar resources. By the time we reach 2026, we may witness the first commercial lunar mining operations come to fruition, marking not only a remarkable technological achievement, but potentially igniting a competitive race for resources among nations and corporations. The implications of this new space economy are vast, as the moon could serve as a critical hub for future space exploration, providing essential materials for building infrastructure in orbit and supporting missions to Mars and beyond. The extraction of rare materials from the moon could also alleviate resource shortages on Earth, especially as our planet grapples with the increasing demand for technology and renewable energy sources. However, the race for lunar resources is not without its challenges and ethical dilemmas. The geopolitical landscape is shifting as nations position themselves to gain influence in this new frontier. This could lead to alliances based on shared interests in lunar exploitation, but it also raises the specter of conflict. Nations may perceive threats to their access to lunar resources, leading to tensions that echo historical territorial disputes on Earth. The implications of this new space race stretch beyond economic considerations. They touch upon fundamental issues of national security, international relations, and the potential militarization of outer space. Furthermore, as we look to the future, it is crucial to consider the environmental impact of lunar mining. The moon has remained largely untouched for billions of years, and the consequences of large-scale mining operations could be significant and far-reaching. Advocating for sustainable practices in space exploration is paramount. The international community must establish robust guidelines to ensure that lunar mining does not irreparably damage the moon's environment or hinder future scientific research. The potential for pollution, the disruption of the lunar regolith, and significant alterations to the moon's surface must be carefully managed to preserve its integrity. The lessons learned from Earth's historical track record of resource extraction should serve as a guiding principle for our approach to lunar mining, ensuring that we do not repeat the mistakes of the past. The concept of ownership raises fundamental philosophical questions that warrant serious consideration. If a corporation extracts gold from the moon, who truly benefits? Is it the corporation that conducts the mining, the nation that supports the mission, or humanity as a whole? As we embark on this new chapter in humanity's relationship with space, advocating for an inclusive approach to lunar resource management is crucial. There is a growing call for a collective framework that allows all nations to benefit from lunar resources, similar to treaties governing the high seas. Such a framework could foster cooperation and ensure that the moon's resources are utilized for the greater good, rather than falling into the hands of a privileged few. In this context, the role of international cooperation cannot be overstated. As we venture into a new era of space exploration, collaboration between nations is essential. The challenges posed by lunar mining, legal, ethical, and environmental, are too significant to be addressed by any single entity or nation. Collaborative efforts, akin to those seen in international scientific endeavors, could pave the way for a more equitable framework for lunar resource management. By working together, nations can share knowledge, technology, and best practices, creating a more sustainable and responsible approach to lunar exploitation. As we look ahead to 2026, we must remain vigilant in addressing the ethical implications of our activities on the moon. The history of resource extraction on Earth is often marked by exploitation and inequality, and we must strive to ensure that lunar mining does not repeat these errors. Creating equitable systems for resource distribution, promoting collaborative international efforts, and engaging in meaningful dialogue about the future of lunar resources will be essential in avoiding conflicts over ownership and access. In conclusion, as we stand on the brink of a new era in space exploration, the coming years will be instrumental in determining how humanity approaches lunar mining and ownership. The excitement surrounding a potential lunar gold rush is tempered by the complexities of international law, ethical considerations, and environmental responsibility. The moon holds the potential to play a crucial role in humanity's future, providing resources that could support advancements in technology and exploration for generations to come. However, how we choose to unlock that potential will ultimately define the legacy we leave for those who follow. As we navigate this uncharted territory, the world will be watching closely, hoping that we can harness our ambitions in a way that respects our shared humanity and our responsibility to the cosmos. The journey to the moon is not just about mining gold. It is about the values we uphold and the future we envision for all of humanity as we reach for the stars. In this pursuit, we must balance our aspirations with a commitment to preserving the integrity of the moon, ensuring that it remains a beacon of hope and discovery, not just a resource to be exploited. The challenge ahead is formidable, but with collaboration, innovation, and a shared vision, we can ensure that our venture into lunar mining leads to a brighter future for all, where the exploration of space fosters unity and progress rather than division and conflict. As we embark on this exciting journey, it is imperative that we remain mindful of the importance of ethical stewardship of not only the moon but of the greater cosmos, understanding that our actions today will shape the legacy we leave for future generations of explorers, scientists, and dreamers who look to the stars for inspiration.